So who is Rod? I'm a designer. I've been involved in the Philips brand for over 20 years. I started life in Scotland studying furniture design. That took me into the world of design. Furniture and glass. Around about 25 years ago, I initially worked for Toshiba in Japan. And at that time, Philips Design were touring an exhibition called TV at the Crossroads. So TV at the Crossroads was basically a way of exploring how design and materials could bring value to technology such as television in the home. I saw that in Tokyo, and that interested me enough to apply to Eindhoven. And from then until now, I've worked mostly in consumer electronics. I think in the world of consumer electronics, Philips is quite unique, distinct. We are the only European major brand still competing in the consumer electronics sphere. And we try to leverage that positioning through innovation. So we bring innovation such in television as Ambilight. Some people saw it as a gimmick initially, but by now the facts show that I think it's something like 85% of consumers who are used to using an Ambilight television return to Philips because they want that experience. Well, as a design team, we're very good at drawing rectangles, that's for sure. The rise of OLED meant basically, as a proposition, to have great sound, we needed to think literally outside of the rectangle. Those elements and then how it links to a sound bar or some other sound solution is a much more holistic design proposition that we have to create now for Philips. Well, obviously the television itself becomes almost frameless. There's a less than 2mm front frame running around the OLED bezel. But then what holds that OLED panel up in the air, so off the table, how you communicate sound. So if you look at our propositions that we've created together with Bowers and Wilkins, we bring in unique elements such as Kvadrat fabric from Denmark in a way to allow the product to fit in easily into the home. How the remote control feels in the hand and the user experience on screen is all part of the design task. We need to bring technology that fits consumer needs rather than a technology push. So, and by that I mean, if it means that the consumer has to change their behavior to use the technology, then not enough people are going to make it a viable product. So if we can bring technology shifts that fit into the normal way of working, then that is the future. So those are the technology shifts that we see both in audio and television that we need to keep an eye on and then ultimately bring to market. I think the reality of user experience today, whether it's in your phone or jumping onto your smart device or your watch, all these devices have different interfaces. So for us, in the end, we wanted the best possible available platform, which is Android. So we have an Android base plate, but from within Android, then you can then branch off into experiences such as Netflix or Rakuten. But they give you, in the end, we don't control how they behave. So all we can do is give you the remote control that brings you into Philips world via the Android platform, and then give you the simplest A to B route access to all those other experiences.